Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning meditation. Thank you for being here today. I am not in my usual place, obviously. Oh, so I am not even all put together yet this morning. It is 8 o'clock in the morning where I am, and I usually do our Monday morning meditation at Eastern time, 2 hours later. So we are winging it today. Definitely wanted to be here with you, though. So you can see my journaling paraphernalia down in the corner. I forgot to move that before we started. But that's what that is, all my glasses and journaling. So we are continuing into our new year. Just looking at our commitments every day and working with putting energy into those commitments to ourselves and releasing anything we need to release that stands in the way of moving us forward on those commitments. So one of the things that I've been working with this week is, the different, call them false beliefs. A friend of mine calls them not I's, like not I or not me, that's not I. And kind of being able to keep those moving and not identifying, we've talked before in our morning meditation that, when we're practicing a mindfulness of exercise of just listening to the thoughts going by and just watching them do their thing coming up, sometimes what happens, and usually when we're on automatic, what happens is that those thoughts are coming up on the inside and we are associating with them, we're identifying with them, we are following them. And then our brains are very distractible. And so even in the background, when we're not even aware of it, our brains are following thoughts that are, sometimes in our best interest, sometimes not. And so what we want to do and what our meditation practice does is it helps us be more aware of those thoughts going on in the background so that we can go, yeah, that's not who I am. Sometimes those thoughts hang on a little tighter. So that's when we have journaling work to do. That's when we have more exploration of, why am I so attached to this thought? Is it a fear, a worry, some kind of anxiety thing? Why am I attached to that thought? Our journaling can really help us because we can say, okay, here's the thought, here's the emotion around it. What else about that? And as we are able to sit with that, it'll just flow. And even if it doesn't flow, if we write it down and we can look at it and say, I have no idea why that's going through my head, but it's sticking. So there's something for me to see there. And eventually, as we persist, our insides, our mind-body system, our intuition will reveal to us why we're holding on to that thought or where else it shows up. And, we can trust our internal wisdom around that. And then our next step is to disidentify from those thoughts. And this is definitely what I've been working on. My outsides, we're having lots of fun and enjoying our time, but on the inside, I'm aware of these, some negative thoughts that are coming up. It's like, oh my gosh, will you please just go away? I do not want to have to deal with you. I don't want to live from that. I don't want to act from that. And so that's part of our process of change. When we want to change from one thing to another, we are dealing with that second force or those not I's, those false beliefs that are stored inside of us. We've picked them up somewhere along the way, and now we are just letting them go. So our practice today is just going to be, just our back to basics of watching, coming from our center, being very present with ourselves. And from that presence, we're able to notice those thoughts coming up and just, being curious about them, but not identified with them, just being aware of them enough that we're just allowing them to keep floating by. Or looking at the ones that are sticking a little bit more, but saying, no, you're not coming into my space. You're not coming into my space. And so I'm doing this once for you all and once for myself, twice for myself. So anyway, if you are not already comfortable in your chair where you are, I invite you to just sit back and be comfortable and take a couple of deep breaths. And let your breathing return to that belly breath, just at a natural pace. Let's just be aware of our belly breath right now. If you'd like to support yourself in getting into a rhythm of that belly breath, you can use our quick breath, the heart math quick breath of breathing into the count of 4 and breathing out to the count of 4 from that belly. Something gives the mind something to do while we're paying attention to that breath. And the regular interval of the count to 4 helps the mind-body system coordinate, synchronize. As you do this, you may feel your body relaxing more and more. Let's check in with the rest of your body. If there's any place you're holding tension, just notice it and give it permission to let go. Even if there is still discomfort, we're letting go of our attention to it. Back to that breathing. So you let that belly breath continue. I invite you to bring into your awareness just very gently, not engaging the mind over much. Just being aware of what your commitment is for the year. The spirit of it. Just feel it. You don't have to think about it. This isn't evaluating how you're doing. It's feeling that commitment, remembering the love and the zeal that you had when you made it. That's the spirit of it. And we pull that sensation into us right now. Just let it come forth, really. We're not pulling anything into us. We're just calling it forth from within. Notice what that feels like in your body. Perhaps you notice your mind starting to judge. Oh, I already haven't done this or that, or I've already forgotten, or whatever those nut eyes, those negative thoughts want to come in and say. To remind ourselves that there is no end point on this journey. It's only movement. There's only movement. So it doesn't matter how many times we forget. That moment that we remember that we've forgotten, that we notice that we've forgotten, is our new start. The automatic, unconscious part of our mind-body system works really hard to not change, while at the same time craving change. So this process of back and forth with our inner commitments is but there's no getting around having to bring ourselves back over and over and over again until it's time for a new commitment, because we've completed one and are ready for the next. Even day to day, we can have commitments to ourselves for the day. We bring ourselves back to. The act of bringing ourselves back is self-love. So for the time of this meditation, our commitment is to gently, with loving compassion, bring ourselves back to our center breath. So their thoughts just keep floating away. Figure out anything about our commitments. Just feel the spirit of them. That puts us in a calm receptivity space within us. And if there are thoughts sticking around that, or emotions that you're feeling, just notice them. Make a commitment to yourself to write them down later, but right now, just noticing and letting go. They're not going, but just put them on the shelf for right now. Say thank you for showing yourself to me that there's more work here to do. Right now, I'm just listening, just being. Your mind wanders too much, just bring it back to your breath and the belly. It's time that we are practicing bringing our attention back to our center, back to our breathing. is building that muscle, that inner muscle that we use all day to keep ourselves on track, or to bring ourselves back on track 1,000 times during the day as needed. The Buddhist monk would say, every time you, how did you say that? 1,000 times returning to breath, 1,000 successes. Success means forward movement, not perfection. Take this practice with us into our day, into our week. I would encourage you this week, every morning, to check in with yourself in the morning, get in touch with that commitment. I have my commitment printed out, so I can see it in my hands every day, or at least the days I remember. We can check in with that commitment in the morning and say, okay, this is my inner focus today, and all the other things that I'm doing. This is what I'm checking in with. Let there be excitement and joy about checking in with that commitment, not measuring how you're doing with it, but just returning to it. You can continue your meditation time today. I invite you to do so. Just being with your breath, being present with that quieter inner part of you. If you need to go about your day, I invite you to take a deep breath. Let your body move a little bit. That peacefulness, that presence with you for the rest of your day. So our theme this week is bringing ourselves back to that presence. I'm doing it with you. I'm in the same boat. So we'll do that together this week, and I will see you next week. Thank you for being here. Your presence means everything to all of us who are here. And thank you, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.